everybody, this is Ryan and I'm back with part two on my update of the last 2.5 years. I apologize for the abrupt ending of the last video, but I felt I could do much better. So here we are. I had just started getting back into the swing of things when my dad started having some problems. We didn't realize that we had some infections going on in his body. Um, one was a UTI, and the other was something going on with his knees. He was supposed to go see the doctor the next day, but we had been trying to treat it, and we were unaware of the UTI. Well, earlier that day, or a few days before, he had been out driving, and we got a call that he was confused, and that's when they took him down and found he had a UTI. And just to let everybody know, oftentimes when an elderly person gets a UTI, or even a young person, if you don't get it treated, it can cause confusion. So just remember that. Go see a doctor. But he had something going on in his knee too. And we had him on some pain meds that night. He got up to go to the bathroom and could hardly walk. So my mom was helping him too. And the confused nature of the beds, the infection had him in. He went around the house the the longest way possible. And just as he went to sit in the chair, he fell. My mother tried to stop him, and she fell with him. So I called Sarah Lynn, not knowing what was going on. Finally, my mother, that she was on her way, said, call 911. Like, oh, mind you, I'm in my room, can't get out of bed, so I don't know exactly what's happened. Just knew there was a thud and a fall. She gets here, and we have to call some paramedics to help get them up. She had fallen with him and dislocated her knee. Took him to the hospital. He had what was called pseudo gout. They had to clean out his knee. And then there was about like 3 weeks stay in the hospital and a month stay in a nursing home. Sarah Lynn and I would go visit him most every day. Siblings. During that, I saw him almost every day. I'd have to get different people to take me. So that took some time, and it's harder for old men in the hospital because their schedules messed up. And to top it all off, he's a smoker and wasn't allowed to smoke. Which I will tell anybody watching this that has a loved one that's a smoker or is a smoker themselves. I'm not telling you you should stop for the social reasons or health reasons, but just think when you get in the hospital someday and you can't get up, you can't go out and smoke, and you're not able to, just think how hard is that going to be? So that's my encouragement for people to stop smoking. But with having to get people to help me, visiting every day, I let my studies go to the wayside. Um, we finally were going well. That my dad got like a pneumonia and another infection, and also they thought he started having some heart problems. A few years ago, he was a guy that never took medications in his late 70s because we thought he's so healthy. Finally, after that last hospital stay, which is a week, he quit smoking completely because he didn't want to go through that anymore. I really hand it to somebody that's been smoking for 60 years and then they can stop like that. So I thought things were done. No more breaks. I told my parents. No more ER visits. No more breaks this year. Nobody else can get hurt. So it came around November, December, October. Uh, I was high on life. Things were going well. I was getting back on my studies. Um, I went to a place. I went to a doctor's appointment in Tucson, and while there, Sarah Lynn and I, she drove me, stopped at a place that makes wheelchair chair handicap conversion vans. I've always used a van that had a lift in the back. Wasn't raised. It just wasn't very easy, really easy to use. But I thought it was fine for me, because I didn't want to drive a minivan. But I went down there, looked at these vans, and I absolutely fell in love because I realized how life-changing these vans are. I saw all the possibilities, and I wanted one for myself. Looking around, trying to see where there's help, because I don't really have the kind of money to just get one. I realized there's not that much help. Other people need help too. So that would be my charity that I'm starting. Oh man, I'm going to get some video of one of these vans for you, just so you can see how awesome they are. Just look up like Broad Ability, VMI, to name a few. There's videos on YouTube that are really neat. So I was busy getting that going. I didn't want to do an Indiegogo. Excuse me. I did an Indiegogo and not a GoFundMe because I don't want to just ask for money. I feel that I need to give something in return. So I was working on an Indiegogo and all these things. I got a little distracted by that. So I decided I was going to take a leave of absence and get all my work done on my dissertation and be able to finish. Well, at Thanksgiving time, the leave of absence would start December 9th and go to February 6th. Thanksgiving, we had a mishap. I was going down these wooden ramps on some steps, and let's just say things got out of control, and my chair went full forward into a wooden post. I hit my head, which I did not realize because all I remember, my legs and my foot were excruciatingly, like, painful. I had hit the post with my right leg. I had my ankles crossed at the time because I was comfortable. It is Thanksgiving evening. So my right shin hit the wood post, and my left foot got smashed between the foot plate and the wheelchair. And I remember just the excruciating pain. Everybody running around acting all scared and panicky. Um, then I had to say, turn my chair off, move my controller, back me up. And then they're all busy looking at my head. But I'm like, quit looking at my head, look at my legs. Unbend my foot plate, help me. Well, I didn't know it, but I had hit the post. It knocked me out, and my head flung back past my headrest. Off to the side, my glasses flung back like 5 feet behind me. I wasn't aware of any of that, but they said it completely knocked me out. And I probably got a concussion, but my brother asked, "You need to go to the ER?" Because I felt really sick. It's like, no, no, just because I'd hit my head. So I went for about a week. My legs were in horrible pain. I'll show a picture right now. There's a, the first day it happened, you'll see that it didn't look like anything bad. And then I'll show you about a week later when Sarah Lynn got me and finally made me go to the doctor. Well, we went in and I was sure the doctor had come back and say it's not broken, it's just a bruise. We went, got the x-rays, he came back to see me and hit me on the head with the papers in his hand. It said, your leg is broken. Oh, I was shocked, so I went to the physical therapy department to get a brace made for my leg. They were looking at the x-rays and found that, oh, I also fractured my left ankle. Great. And we also were set to go to a show in December in Tucson called The Forgotten Carols. I was really looking forward to that for my break. So we still went to that. Let me tell you, cobblestone sidewalks or like tiled sidewalks are rough to drive over when you have a broken leg. I felt every bump. But luckily, Tucson in December is not that cold. But I was pretty down in the dumps, and I was depressed. My thoughts were, I've got all these other problems, and then I have that. And I'm a religious person, so I'm like, why would you let that happen? Uh, and if you wasn't religious, I'd go back to the universe. What the heck, man? Why did that happen? I was so, and I was also upset at some of the circumstances surrounding it. It took me a little time to get over that and not be so upset. But I was pretty down in the dumps. I don't do a whole lot. And then when you can't do what you can do, it's very depressing. I also think I gained a little bit of weight during that time because I missed out on what little exercise I do get. I was so upset by it. But then I realized it was beneficial. This video's got on pretty long. I will tell you more about the things I learned, the good things from all this in the next video. All right, I thank everybody, and all right, I'll catch you later. Thanks, bye.